So, again, for everybody who is new to this concept here, it's a 21-day detox of any and all distractions, meaning I've been dedicating myself to eliminate the four major players in my life, which are video games, books, TV series, and any and all screen time entertainment, and of course social media. So now social media wasn't really that tough, but I can tell you from my personal experience that I think the most difficult for me was really to get away from the occasional video gaming and books. Those two have been the toughest one, simply because they were my go-tos to decompress at the end of a tough day. I've also, over the past days, ever since I started this journey, I've been finalizing my tattoo. Yes, I am doing tattoos myself on myself, and I've really enjoyed the process of finalizing this piece here. It has been in the making for a long time, and I just really enjoyed that. Yesterday was by far the toughest day, to be very honest with you. And again, I do these daily video logs as a means of accountability toward myself and this incredible community here. Also, to share what I experience and maybe perhaps give some reference point or some insights to any and all who are curious enough to listen to this or watch this. So, yeah, basically, over the past days, yesterday was definitely the pinnacle of toughness for me as I found myself in a downward spiral of negative emotions and thoughts and just noticed I cannot do anything to get out of it. I really had to face it because I also recognize that I divert and distract myself with everything. Literally, in a moment of suffering, I'm trying to grab and hold on to any and everything that induces some form of little bit of pleasure to kick up that dopamine reward process. And like I just noticed, like it's really tough. So lucky for me, I have an incredibly loving and loyal partner despite her involvement in a retreat process right now, was holding space while we had a very lengthy conversation yesterday evening over a couple of beers, where I just we talked about through the phone with her as to what's going down with me, etc. I also want to highlight that I noticed like an incredible heightened state of activation throughout the day. What that means is that I basically feel throughout the day that it's really tough for me to relax down. I feel like I'm continuously hyperactive to some degree, meaning I speak faster, my tone of voice, my tonality is higher. I feel incredibly creative. So those are a couple of the results and the consequences of this challenge so far. Naturally, because of my tattoo here, I don't actually feel that I sleep better, but I would bet that I would actually feel and sleep a lot better simply because of the minimizing the whole blue light impression on myself. I certainly noticed that I start to feel and notice a lot more out like throughout my field of vision, my field of perception throughout the day. I've also started to recognize on how many levels that I basically try to entertain myself. It's imagine it this way: you just have suddenly this craving for chocolate. Usually that's women, but I don't want to polarize here. It's also certainly a couple of men, but also like just feeling like I would love to eat this or I would love to do that. There's like these kind of like sudden inspirations, and that's basically what I get when I have like today, for instance, I've been working out with the group, with the community. We had like an incredible workout over lunchtime. And right after, on my way back, I suddenly had this craving, this idea: I want to sit down and read a book now, or I want to sit down and play some video games. And suddenly I find myself continuously being inspired to do all these little distractive notions and habits that I used to entertain. And much like with, say, like with foods or liquids that you notice that your system tells you to crave and go for, your system has learned to utilize, say, distractions as a means of understanding that you need rest, that you need decompression, that you need some form of, um, you know, coming back to yourself. So Anyway, what I noticed today, it was less difficult simply because yesterday evening, also perhaps through the incredible, through this beautiful conversation with my partner, I recognized that I cannot not do anything all the freaking time, you know? So that's not in the books for me. So yesterday I made a decision that any and all creative processes, ideally out of screen time, are allowed, right? So meaning that I have all the distraction I'm trying to get away from, all the entertainment I'm trying to get away from, but the creative processes that can be music, can be drawing, can be painting, tattooing, you know, everything where I'm creating something, I will allow myself for the duration of this process of this challenge. So that really gave me a lot of peace because suddenly I noticed I can actually utilize something. I can actually do something with all that juice that is set free. And so starting to, you know, make music, draw, a lot of new little projects or say like old projects that I never actually got into because I was so distracted all the freaking time. Now I'm getting into those things. Also, again, I want to highlight something that's incredible from my point of view, is that it is literally, it does feel like the antidote to procrastination there and then. And of course, I mean, we all do know, like, yes, cut the distraction, and then you'll be also productive. But man, you have to experience that yourself for once. Honestly, you have to check it out. You have to learn about, like, you have to really try and dig into some form of challenge or some form of face off with really trying to cut really your distraction out. You know, I've just had a conversation with a friend today, whom I've been telling about this challenge. He said, like, it's like trying to not use my phone for a day. What you're gonna do, right? Yeah, then you're gonna use Netflix, you're gonna use books, you're gonna use anything else. So for me, that wasn't enough, just cutting out the phone. It was more like trying to understand and analyze, when is it that I'm trying to distract myself? From what am I trying to distract myself from? What am I using to distract myself? How does it make me feel if I'm not distracted all the time? So that those are all the questions that I tried to face off. And like so far, I've been not disappointed with the richness of this experience. And I can only strongly suggest it to everyone. At least give you a day or 2 days just to try it out. And you will notice like how much it actually influences your field of creativity, focus, and productivity and efficiency, all even that one, all throughout your day. But of course, as I shared yesterday, it has also felt like a massive withdrawal. Because here's the thing, right? So we get addicted to dopamine output, if we want to make it simple, right? So just to clarify for everybody who's watching this at some point or another or not, the idea when you are pleasure inducing is that you are getting rewarded for that feeling of you have done something for which you are now gratified, right? Meaning you're scrolling down, and with every new input, you're getting that tiny, nitty gritty little bit of gratification in your system saying, like, there's something new, there's something new, there's something new. So now this say technology, this method in within your system biologically can be triggered throughout a variety of little systems. Okay, let's take books for instance. And I love books, don't get me wrong. I would suggest to everybody, if you want to get more focus, higher focus, start to read and also try to improve your reading, speed read, learn to really speed read. There's plenty of shit out there. So I'm all for books. But just to be also very simple, in my case, I've been using books to divert myself from boredom, from very painful emotions, from certain conversations, to be very honest with you. I've been distracting myself with books from my work, certain projects that I knew that I would have to do. I'd rather sit on the couch and like just read a book for hours and hours, and the work just didn't get done, you know? So books can, you know, it's like everything that induces some form of pleasure. It's just, you know, you want more of it. It's simple. It's a button press and you feel good, right? So at the end of the day, what I noticed also today, since today I was mostly out of house, I didn't really have any of these methods available to me anyway because I was out of the house. But yesterday, for instance, I was inside the house all the time, and it was just available to me. I could have sat down and read a book. I could have sat down and watched a movie. I could have sat down, played a video game, or social media. Again, like that's not something that I'm currently doing, but still, you get my meaning, right? It's always available by the press of a button. You just feel good. Something makes you feel, and this reactiveness promotes, in my eyes, for the longest period, I've been already preaching that, but now I really, again, through one of these self experiments, I notice how massively it has perpetrated my sense of helplessness without it, right? So the one thing is if I use it intentionally to make myself feel in a certain way. The other thing is if I choose to not use it and what then's going to happen with myself. So state control is certainly something that helps a lot. But on the other end is also, what are you trying to change? What are you trying to run away from? And again, we can then start to analyze how many different layers of distraction we're actually facing if I am not wanting to feel negative. If negative feelings is something I'm trying to run away from, if boredom is by my own definition a negative feeling, if certain thought patterns is by definition, my definition is something that I don't want to experience is something negative. The moment I'm always diverting myself from these that I'm trying to utilize. There's so many different parts, so many different little tools that come to mind for me to entertain myself. I don't have to go into depth because, again, I wanted to keep it short, like maximum 12 minutes, which is just now. So you get my meaning, right? So to cut short, today was a beautiful day of realization, of release. I've had an incredible conversation with very good friends of mine. I've been sharing a workout space with great people again. Like I'm hosting these workouts, especially on days today, like super sunny, very nice and warm. A lot of people out. Everybody's enjoying finally spring break. So it's incredible how that can just invigorate you and make you feel good. But then also having deep conversations with a newly made friend where I just really felt like an incredible resonancy and incredible depth of connection that I would love to explore further. So that's basically it for today. I really hope that you could take away something from my chattering. And if not, no worries. Just never come back and hopefully you find something better somewhere else. In any case, I wish you from the bottom of my heart all the best. And I really hope to see you soon.